Guys, can you hear me? Good afternoon, guys. So today we'll be taking on a new topic. Okay. And this topic will be first covering all the basics of this topic again, because this topic borderlines into a little bit of logical reasoning. Okay. Though most of the times they ask you questions indirectly on this topic, they don't give you very direct questions. But once you understand the concepts, it's very easy to grasp the questions also. Okay, so today we'll be doing the concepts of this, and tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll be practicing the questions on this topic. Okay, now this topic is known as deductive logic. How many of you have an idea about this? By the way, quick question: can you guys see my screen? Okay, fine, got it, got it. So now can you guys see my screen? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, should have thought of that earlier. Okay, all right, guys. So let's start this class. Now, before I start this class, there are two parts of this class that we should be focusing on ideally, and it's in the name itself. Okay, the first part is understanding what is deductive. Okay, look. Now, whenever we are going into non-verbal reasoning as the topic, this covers all the topics in your images, paper, foldings, cubes, all of that. Okay. However, when we are going into something that we call as verbal reasoning, okay, this is more a contemporary. There's disturbance in the voice. Yeah, the thing is my AC is not working, so I put on the fan. That's okay. I'll just switch off the fan. That's completely fine. Bora Deepak, is my voice clearer now? Yep, obviously it was the fan. See, with the AC, there's no disturbance. With fan, there's a lot of disturbance. But anyways, okay. So when we are doing, no, that's completely fine, dude. It's 1 hour, no? See, we should be able to, manage in all conditions. So anyways, so when we are doing verbal reasoning, right, the topics are a little different. First of all, we start with something called as syllogisms. Okay. From syllogisms, we go into what are statements and what are assumptions. Okay. And then from statements and assumptions, we go into what can be facts, what can be inferences, and what can be judgments. Okay. Now, what is the evolutionary line of this kind of verbal reasoning, and why do we study it in this format only? Now, if you look at it carefully, when I'm saying syllogisms on the basis of the truth value, we are always assuming this to be true, and only then we will be able to solve questions. Over here, we'll try to first identify which of the things cannot be true. So this is partially. Okay. Whereas when we're coming to facts, inferences, and judgments, we're not even looking at true or false. We are looking at the classification of statements altogether. Okay, we're looking at classification of statements altogether. Now, with me, we'll be going to cover this in 4 classes. Okay, we'll be covering verbal reasoning in 4 classes. So that'll be today. That's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. Yep, today's Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be covering this. And on Saturday, we'll be taking an overview and we'll be doing a doubt clarification session. Okay, on Saturday, we'll have a doubt clarification session, a live interactive session, just like every day. I mean, I don't see how that's different. But yeah, using the words live and interactive is good. Okay, so yeah, let's start off with this class. But beforehand, as I asked you, as I was telling you, there are 2 questions that I want you guys to answer. Okay, the first question is very simply, what do I mean by deductive? And again, what is logic? Now, most of you might be thinking that, yeah, I have logic, I have common sense, I know what logic is. Why do I need to define this? But yeah, if that is true, please try to tell me, answer me, what is logic? Even if you don't tell me what deductive is, that's completely fine. Try to answer me, what is logic? Guys, anyone who wants to answer? To solve a task. It's like the key to solve task. Okay. Thinking differently, out of the box thinking. Deductive means observing or deducing the things, coming to conclusion. Okay, good. Meher, good. So Sridhar says strategy, reasonable way, rational explanation, simplest way to solve anything, something which is not direct, reasoning conducted. Wow, okay. Nice, good. So yeah, very simply, logic means accepting things to be true after careful reasoning of all conditions. Okay, logic is accepting things to be true after careful reasoning of all conditions. Logic, Nana, logic. Okay. Now, the reason I've defined logic this way is because, look, so if you look at evolutionary psychology, there are more than half a dozen definitions of logic altogether. And if you look at again science, there is a different definition of logic. If you look at math, the simplest definition is for all the set of variables that you can consider, the maximum set that gives you the truth value 1. Okay, so logic has been defined very differently in different subjects over different periods of time. Depending on who the person was who was defining logic, they've defined it differently. And for the purposes of this class, I would like to define logic in this way. Okay, accepting things to be true after careful reasoning of all conditions. All right. Now, why is it that I'm saying this? Why is it that this definition should hold true? I'll give you a very real life example of things and how they are portrayed. Okay, have you heard of this term Islamophobia? Guys, have you heard of Islamophobia? Yes, no, yes, no, 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 no. Wow. Ha. So I'll do one thing, guys. I'll just do one thing. I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it into, everyone can do publicly and privately. Everyone can chat with me publicly and privately. Those of you, please answer this question again. Okay, but please don't give it me a private message. Send it to everyone. All right. How many of you have not heard of Islamophobia? Raise your hands. Don't worry, I will educate you about it. Okay. Sorry, raise your hands as in type me. Just type me. So that let everyone see. Because see, guys, we are in a very progressive society, and there are a lot of things that we are not talking about. Okay. It's very important we talk about such things also. Okay. So before I start talking to you about Islamophobia, there's a small history lesson that I want to give you. Okay, very small history lesson. Do you remember in 80s, 1980s, there were a lot of riots. Have you watched the movie Bhag Milka Bhag? I'm pretty sure most of you must have watched the movie Bhag Milka Bhag, right? So you must have seen how Sikhs, the Sikh people were tortured, were hit in the 1980s. Yeah, it's a kind of same situation that the Islamic people, the Muslims, are facing nowadays in our country. Having a deep sensation of fear or dislike towards one particular community. Okay, and especially the Islamic community, the Muslim community, is known as Islamophobia. Now do you understand what Islamophobia is? Now I'll give you one more small example. Yes, fear of Islam. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, I'll give you a small example. No, no, I'm not. I'm not saying you are Islamophobic or I am Islamophobic. For that matter, a lot of my very close friends are Muslims. But that's not what I'm saying. Have you heard of this small case called the Marcus case? Yes, for the corona. And then have you heard of news coming up that people have rejected from taking groceries, deliveries from Muslims? Yeah, that is Islamophobia. For that matter, even if you're a nurse or you're a frontline worker and people are not accepting you to come into the societies, that's also a phobia. You're afraid. But tell me one thing, if this is an entire section of Muslims, okay, maybe this is that small portion of the people who have gone to Markaz, right? Yes. Then why is it that we are alienating all of these people? Where is the logic in it? That's because you have accepted things to be true without considering all the facts carefully. Okay? And our entire class for your safety. So, dude, I've been coughing left, right, and center, but no one is saying no to me. Okay? So, anyways, our entire chapter today is going to be about understanding how things are happening around the premise of logic. Okay. Now, when I'm saying deduce, okay, deductive is nothing but an adjective of deduce. All right. And what this means is to find out a fact or to arrive at a fact by reasoning, by considering all possible scenarios. Okay. Now, see, I don't mean to start a political debate here. If you wish to debate, we have other chat rooms. We can debate there. Okay. Over here, I just wanted to show you an example of what we're going to go through. Okay. There'll be a lot of questions like this by tomorrow. So yeah. Now, when I say deductive logic, we are going to arrive at conclusions after we consider facts. So let us say I have fact one. Okay. I have fact 2 and I have fact 3. If fact 1 is true, if fact 2 is true, if fact 3 is true, if all these facts are true, then is my conclusion true? Okay, so if all facts are true, then is my conclusion true? That is the one singular question we are going to ask ourselves at every simple question that we solve in the deductive logic chapter. Okay. Now, before I start this topic, there should be a few questions that you should get in your mind. First of all, are there other types of logic? What makes up deductive logic? Where do we use deductive logic? Why am I learning deductive logic? And I would love to answer this last question. Okay, so I would love to answer this last question particularly. Why am I learning deductive logic? There's no easy way to say this, but you get 2 to 3 questions in every CRT paper. Okay, in your verbal section, you get 2 to 3 questions in every CRT paper. If you have a reasoning section, all the more need for learning this. Okay, so that is why we try to learn deductive logic. Now, where do we use deductive logic? Well, most of your marketing surveys are based on deductive logic. Okay, people don't realize it, but yeah, this is how it happens. Okay, let us say there are some people who eat rice. Okay, and then amongst those people, there are some people who buy brand A of rice. Now, if I can target these people to show them an advertisement about brand A of rice, I can get my maximum profits. Assuming I am selling brand A of rice? Yes, no? See, instead of marketing it, instead of showing advertisement to all of these people here who don't eat rice at all, if I'm only showing the advertisement to these people, it's going to give me more profits, no? So that is where we use deductive logic. Okay. What makes up deductive logic? Very simply, we've seen that facts make up deductive logic. Okay. Have you all heard of this guy Sherlock Holmes or any other detective? See, even if it's Detective Conan, it's completely fine. Yeah. So what do all these detectives do here? Well, what do all these detectives do? Yeah. CID is also good. Yeah, CID is also good. In fact, my name comes from there only. Funny story. This never happened. My mom will never confess to this, but probably she was watching, CID and named me Pradyum. So I don't know. Anyways, what do? They look at all facts. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes says, okay, it is night. There won't be street lights in this street. Correct. And then there are manholes all around, so he must have gone through one manhole from other. Yes. So maybe that what thief is hiding in this street. That's how they point it out. No, so they have a set of facts, and from those facts, he is deriving one singular conclusion. So that makes up deductive logic. Okay. Now, coming to the first question, are there other forms of logic? Yes. Okay. Yes, there are other forms of logic. Now, the one other form of logic that we are supposed to be talking about is known as inductive logic. Okay, how does inductive logic differ from deductive logic? See, this is basing on facts. That means it is same for everyone. Correct. So if you're asking me, hey sir, is the sun going to come out at 5:30 today for me? Yeah, maybe. Is the sun going to come at 5:30 for you? Yeah, sure, definitely. If it's coming out at 5:30 for me, it's coming out at 5:30 for you, right? but, hey, sir, do you believe that, Lord Shiva will clear all your problems? Yeah, maybe. Hey, sir, do you believe that Jesus will clear all your problems? Yeah, sure, maybe. What's this for me? It does not need to be the same for you. So, inductive logic is based on experiences. Okay? Whereas deductive logic is based on facts. So, that's the main difference. Okay? I'll give you one more example. When you were a kid and your mom used to ask you not to touch the hot stove or not to touch the hot utensils, what did you do? You definitely touched it, right? You touched the hot utensil, right? Yes or no? How many of you would have touched the hot utensil? Yes. Very good, very good. ఇదిగో మీలాంటి వాళ్ళ వల్లే జనాలు ఏమొచ్చి నమ్మకం కుదరట్లేదు ఇంకోళ్ళ మీద. Now, why did you touch it? Because your mom told you, "Arey, that's hot, ra. It'll burn, ra. Don't touch, ra." So you got so much curiosity, you went and you started touching it, correct? Now, had I told you, yo, listen, your hand will start melting at somewhere around 70 degrees centigrade. The water inside that is 100 degrees centigrade, or maybe your hand will burn at 70 degrees centigrade. The water inside is at 100 degrees centigrade. So don't touch it because your hand will burn. Maybe you would have stopped. So that is just the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning here. Okay? You telling that, hey, that's hot, don't touch it, I've done it before, it has happened to me, is inductive reasoning. You telling, hey, that is 70 degrees, this is 100 degrees, so it will burn, is deductive reasoning. Okay? Now, not only is it important for your CRT exams, but yeah, this does not come under GRE or GMAT topics, but all MBA questions. Okay, there's a special section, in fact, in your MBA entrance exams in verbal reasoning, when you study parajumbles and all of this. Okay, so this acts as a precursor to the entire critical reasoning section. So if you really want to understand how to debate, how to speak, how to make valid arguments, deductive reasoning should be the go-to point for you. Okay. Now, what are the various terminologies that we use in deductive reasoning? Okay. What is it that we do? Well, let's look at it very, very clearly. Okay. The first thing is premise. Okay, and when we are saying premise, it's nothing but the facts that are given. Okay, and please remember, so far I have not introduced to you the concept of the truth value. Okay, so whenever I'm saying this is a fact, the truth value associated with it is 1. That means it's always true. Okay, so if I'm saying it's a fact, it's always going to be true. Is that clear? Okay, all right. Now, next thing. Whenever we are looking at logic, always think that the premises are going to be true, otherwise you won't get the conclusion. Okay, that means your conclusion should logically follow from the premises. Guys, is this ink visible? Okay, cool. So conclusion should logically follow from premises. Okay, now let's look at an easy example. Let's look at a very small example, because use any other color. Okay, cool. I'll use other color. This color? Okay, all right. Now let's look at this example. All engineers are science students. Can I say this is true? Yes. Okay. And Praddy is an engineer. Yes. So this is also true. So now from these two statements, can I say that if all engineers are science students and Praddy is one of an engineer, therefore Praddy is also a science student? Antega? Antega? Choice లేదు కదా? Yes, yeah. But look what will happen if I just change the order of these sentences. Okay, what will happen if I just change the order of these sentences? Okay, Praddy is an engineer. Okay, let me just clear this slide of all ink and just rearrange these sentences. Let me say Praddy is an engineer is my statement one now. Okay, I'll write it down. Praddy is an ENGG. Okay, and this will be my statement two. Praddy is a science student. Okay, and this I'm going to take as conclusion. Therefore, all engineers are science students. Now, can I say that is true? No, right? No, right? Yeah, that's the same thing that I was telling you with Islamophobia also. Now, can you relate? Yeah. So this is how we identify conclusions. See, we mainly do this so that not a lot of money goes into waste in advertising to random people. That's called as micro advertising or micro targeting. Okay. All right. Now let's try to understand what syllogisms are. The definition of syllogism does not really make a lot of sense to people. So here, let's look at a few terminologies of syllogisms. Okay. Now, the first terminology that we'll look at is nothing but sum A or B. Tejasvi, which one? You want to understand the previous one again? This one? Okay. So see, if I'm saying you this is premise 1, this is premise 2, you always and there's another statement which might be a conclusion. You have to take it in this order only. If you change the order, your conclusion won't be valid. For example, if I say all engineers are science students, look, maybe this is engineers and maybe these are all science students. Something is wrong with my pen. Just give me one moment. I'll erase this and I'll write again. Okay, let's say that this is all the engineers and this is all the science students. ఓకే చూడు ఇక్కడ బిఎస్సి చేసేవాళ్ళు వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉంటారు. ఓకే, alright. Now I am saying that Praddy is an engineer. So Praddy is over here. So now can I say that Praddy is also a science student? Yes or no? But instead, if I take that Praddy is an engineer, okay, so this is all the engineers and there's Praddy inside it. Okay, and Praddy is also a science student. So maybe look, these are all the science students and Praddy is inside that also. Now at least can I say that all engineers are science students? No, right? So that is why if I'm changing the order of my premises, my conclusions will also change. Okay, is that clear? Tejasvi, am I clear? Okay, all right. Now, the first terminology that we're going to learn is about sum AR B. Okay. Now, what do we mean by this sum AR B? Look, understanding the right definition is very, very important in deductive logic here, because depending on your definition, you'd be constructing case diagrams. Okay. Bharadwaj, which one do you want me to repeat, Kana? Bharadwaj? Okay. The Venn diagram. Okay. Wait. So see, if I'm taking this in the order 1, 2, 3, I'm constructing it this way, no? That Praddy is an engineer, and all engineers are science students. So here all the engineers, everyone who is an engineer is a science student, no? And if Praddy is an engineer, he is inside the circle of engineering, no? Yeah? Hey, don't worry about this Venn diagram. I'll explain you these statements. With these statements, you'll understand how all those Venn diagrams came. Okay, just give me 10 minutes. I'll explain you these statements. Once we're done with the statements, you yourself will be able to understand how those Venn diagrams came. Okay, I hope you have noted that question down, nothing else. Okay, ల్యాప్ పైన ఏం లేదు, నేను మళ్ళీ చూపిస్తాను, లేదు దాంట్లో కంగారు ఏం లేదు. Okay, all right. Now see, when I'm saying sum A belong to B or sum A or B, think of it this way. Okay, let us say A is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and B is a set of 2, 4, 6. So over here, can I say that sum A or B? Yes. Now the same way, even if I have B just as 2, even in that case, sum A or B, right? Yes. That means at least one element of A should be an element of B. Okay. Now, how do we represent this? How can we represent it? Let us say this is all A and this is all B. Then can I say that these people are all those people who are A who are also in B? So this is nothing but sum A or B. Am I correct or not? So you guys tell me, is there any other way? Is there any other way in which I can represent this? Okay, so you guys say that B has a circle inside A, one circle inside the other. Okay. All right. Again, let's look at the logic over there. If I am telling you that, I have this part where I'm taking A and I take B over here. Now, can I say that there are some elements in A which are B? So this is also some A or B. What about the other way around? What if this is A and this is B? Is this diagram some A or B or not? Yes or no? No? How many of you say no? Just type it up. It's all A or B, no? That's all A or B, right? Yeah. So now I just have one small question to ask you. When I told you some A or B, did I tell you that all A should not be B? All of you who are typing no. My simple question to you is, when I told you that some A should be B, did I tell you all A should not be B? Or for that matter, when all A are B, definitely some A are in B, no? ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, మీకు అన్ని మార్కులు 90% కంటే ఎక్కువ వచ్చాయి అనుకోండి, అట్లీస్ట్ కొన్ని మార్కులైనా 90% కంటే ఎక్కువ వచ్చినట్టే కదా. I'll give you another good example here. Let us say that your dad promised you, if you get 9 CGPA or if you get an A grade in all the 5 subjects that you have in one semester, he's going to buy you a bike. Okay, or if he's told you that, you know, he's going to, you see, your dad is very good. So if he told you that if you get A grade in some subjects, I will get you a bike. అలా అని మీకు అన్ని సబ్జెక్ట్స్ లోని ఏ గ్రేడ్ వస్తే వాళ్ళు బైక్ కొనివ్వరని కాదు కదా, అప్పటికి కొనిస్తారా లేదో? అంటే ఏంటి, మీకు అన్ని ఏలో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్స్ బిలో ఉన్న సమ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నట్టే కదా. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? Yeah, so that is how logic works. Okay, see, this is what I'm telling you. You guys, we are all, you know, used to just looking at the very simple scenarios always. We don't really go into the depth and think about things. Okay, and that is where, you know, it gets kind of tricky. Okay, it gets a little bit trickier. Okay, so yeah, please take down these 3 diagrams. These 3 diagrams are very important for some A or B. Okay, now the next statement is some A are not B. Okay, now when I'm saying some A are not B, what am I meaning to say? Again, we'll identify all the cases. Okay, when I'm saying some A are not B, let us say A is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, B is 3, 4, 5. Okay, now in this case, can I say 2 is an element which is A but not B? Yes or no? Okay, so that means by that logic, I should be able to say at least one element, okay, of A should not be of B. Yeah, so let's try to look at the different representations we can have. Okay, let's try to look at all the different representations that we can have. Again, when I'm saying some A are not B, let me consider all these are A. Let me consider all these are B. Some A is not supposed to be in B. Ante kada man condition. Idigo nenu ikkada mark chestuntanu oka nimisham. Here, all these are A which are not B. Correct? All these are A which are not B. Yes, that is one condition. Now again, some A are not B. So if I'm thinking this is B, okay, and if I'm thinking this is A, can I say that these are some A which are not B? Yes. Okay. Now, one more condition, one small diagram. Inkoka chinna diagram diniki. If I'm thinking this is all A, and this is all BR, can I say that these are some A which are not B? Yes or no? Is this diagram valid or not? Bhargav, why do you think that's not valid? Just can you give me any reason, please? Bhargav, why is it not valid? Oh, sorry, I didn't see the diagram. Okay, no problem. So, see, the point is no A is B is also signifying that some A are not B, no? If there's no element of A that's in B, then definitely some elements of A are not in B, right? So these are three diagrams for some A are not B. Okay. Now, next we'll be studying about all A are B. Now, can anyone tell me how do I draw all A are B? Let us say that all basketball players are athletes. Okay. Or maybe instead of taking a statement directly, let me just give you a set representation only. Let us say A is 1, 2, 3, 4. B is also 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Over here, can I say that all of A is B? So over here, all of A is B, right? Good. You guys are giving me nice answers, but tell me this. Are all A, B here or no? Okay, fine. Now, if I just decide to extend this small, set by two more elements. Now also all A are B, no? Yes? Yeah, so we have two representations for this in that case. First representation will be this. Okay, where this is only A and B. The same example as A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and B also equals to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the second one is all A should be B, but I never told you that all B are also A. Kada, so ikkada A, ikkada B. Okay, so these are our two representations for all A are B. Is that clear, all of you? Now, okay, yeah, here, the last one. Okay, the last terminology is no AR B. When I'm saying no AR B, let's say this is A, this is B. In this case, there's only one diagram where no AR B. Correct? Yes? All right. Okay, so with this, we come to an end of our lecture. So let's get to a recap. Sum A or B, we have three diagrams. A, B, sum A or B. A, B, sum A or B. A, B, sum A or B. Sum A or not B also we have three diagrams. A, B, sum A or not B. Okay, sum A or not B, right? So this way, where inside B, outside A. So sum A or not B. Third diagram, A, B. Okay, all A or B, we have two diagrams. First diagram, A and B is same. Second diagram, A is inside, B is outside. Okay, are we all clear? Guys, any doubts whatsoever in today's class? Is there any priority? Well, see, there's absolutely nothing called the concept of priority in this chapter because he will give us a few questions. Let me just give you one small example of a question. Okay, then you'll be able to understand a little bit more. Okay, all A or B is applicable for some A or B. Yeah, in one particular condition, all A or B is applicable for some A or B, Nana. Okay. So here, I'll just show you one example. Let us say that my two statements, statement one is some cricketers are batsmen. Okay. Statement two is all bowlers are cricketers. Okay, cool. So let me just draw diagrams for this. For first one, cricketers, batsmen, cricketers, batsmen, cricketers, batsmen, right? Now, second statement is all bowlers are cricketers. Bowlers and cricketers, same circle. Next, bowlers, cricketers, different circles. Now, to derive conclusions, now what I have to do is I have to take both of these statements together. No, that's what Sherlock Holmes does, right? Wait, so Likhita, you have a doubt when all A or B applicable to some A or B. How? Likhita, see, suppose if I'm saying all A or B, isn't that the same as this diagram? Yeah. So look, here are all cricketers, not batsmen. So only three diagrams, no? You're not going to get four diagrams now. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have to take this diagram into this diagram. Okay, so see, we have cricketers here. We have batsmen here. Now, what do I know about bowlers? Bowlers are the same as cricketers. So these are all bowlers also. So now can I say that there are some bowlers who are batsmen? That is the conclusion I derive from this diagram. From this diagram, I can derive that some bowlers are batsmen. Jami Shushmita, what? If A and B are equal, we can say that. What do you want to say? If A and B are equal, then yeah, we can say this. Manohari, nice question. Some A are B, some B are C, and some C are A. So basically three, and that will give you 6 to 8 possibilities. 8 again with 3, you'll get 22 possibilities, Nana. Manohari, you'll get 22 possible case diagrams. So we can say that all ARB is applicable for some ARB. Yeah, it's one of the cases of some ARB. All ARB is also one of the cases of some ARB. Why? Because when we are saying all, we definitely mean some also, no? All on some definitely untundi kada na anduku. Okay, so this is how we are going to go forward with. So by tomorrow, I'll bring you questions on this topic, and we'll solve the entire class. We'll solve questions only tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, any more doubts for today? Guys, any more doubts? No? Okay. All right. In that case, let's close the class here today. Take care. The weather is not really great today. So stay at home. Even if the weather is great, you have to stay at home. Yeah. So those of you who have sent me the resumes, I've gotten a little busy. I've gotten a little sick. So I've been sleeping only most of the time. I'll just make sure that either today evening or tomorrow morning, I'll look through all your resumes and give you feedback. Okay, I have somewhere around 58 unopened messages, and all of those are resumes. So yeah, I'll just go through them by today evening or tomorrow, and I'll give you the feedback. Okay. All right. Tada. Have a good day. Yesterday's class uploaded. What do you mean, Nana? Are you talking about the PDFs? Yes. Other video. The video Girisa will give you. Okay. All right, peeps. Bye bye.